right, good afternoon, guys. Back in with another MLB DFS video. Somehow cashed yesterday. It was just unreal. We went with Kopech. St. Louis stack did not get there in the slightest. Um, Travis d'Arnaud just carried our team with two homers, uh, four RBIs total. Um, Trying to pull up the lineup just to double check. Eddie Rosario hit a home run. Acuna went over 3, but got a stolen base, a walk, and a run, so that kind of sort of helped. Kopech just walked 6 batters and got pulled in the fourth inning. Uh, any takeaways from yesterday?
Uh, I'm just kind of kicking myself still for the last minute switch between Boston and St. Louis because as the weather got better throughout the day in St. Louis, I started to like them more and more because McGill is terrible. And I thought they could take advantage of that, but it ended up being the reverse, and the Mets actually did good, and St. Louis stunk. And then Boston dropped 14, and Justin Turner, who I had in my lineup all day, dropped 60, and just didn't finish with him. So, it's whatever. We still were able to min cash. It could have been better, but it also could have been a lot worse.
I was gonna say at this point I'll take him in cash. I also had like a couple lineups I built yesterday. Had Boston Stacks and Atlanta. I didn't have like Rosario or anything, but I had Albies who did bad. I think I had Riley who did bad. Go fucking figure. But this slate is kind of bad, but there's some interesting spots. So Logan Gilbert, Hunter Green, Mitch Keller, definitely not playing Senga, so don't even. I know you and me are on the same page on that. Kind of drops off a little here. What's standing out to you right now?
Um, there's actually some pretty good pitching I like today. It's really just like the tags are pretty fair for once. Hunter Green at 10-2 for the strikeout upside he has. It's a fair tag. Tougher spot against Houston, but no Jordan, so the lineup's been pretty watered down for like a couple weeks now. They've had some pretty dud performances recently, so I'm not completely scared of Houston. Mitch Keller, probably the easiest matchup between the studs. I guess Gilbert against the White Sox, but Keller gets the Brewers. Uh, he's looked fantastic all year. I think his last outing he might have stunk just because he was a prize picks taco, and they pay all the players to stink. So whatever. Um, Kodai Senga, we never play him. Uh, we'll never get him right. If we play him, he'll walk 6 guys. So if you want to play him, you can. He projects fine.
We don't use that language on this show.
Lucas Giolito, a little overpriced for me, 10-5. I'd rather play him at like nine, mid nines, 9-4, something like that. Elder, same thing, 10-6, just an egregious tag. Rex, I mean, I will say he does probably have the best ability to get a quality start and a win today, uh, which helps a lot, but he doesn't really have that like 50, 60 point upside, I think. Uh, Garrett, it's just another guy we we just always get wrong. Uh, Fine matchup against Washington. They haven't shown that much strikeout percentage like throughout the lineup, so not my favorite spot. And I don't think I would play anyone below his tag that I'm looking at. Yeah, no one below Garrett.
The one thing I'll say about Giolito, his last two starts, he's gone in the high 40s, so I understand the price tag a little bit, I guess. But I mean, if he was like 10K, he'd easily be like the highest owned guy. It's just 10.5 is insane. I kind of like him. Right now we got Logan Gilbert projected to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate facing the White Sox at 24%. He's been like shaky. May 20th, May 25th, and June 6th. He's gotten high 40s. Against the Yankees, he only went 4 innings, got 9 fantasy points. June 11th, he played the Angels and only went 3 innings, gave up 6 earned. So I mean, he's kind of been like up and down recently. So that's kind of why I'm like, I don't want to say scared, but I'm a little cautious with him. Hunter Green to me kind of looks the best here. The last like 4 starts, he's been pretty good, and kind of like you said, Houston's got a watered down lineup, so that kind of interests me. If I had to rank it, I'd probably go. I mean, Elder kind of. I think you said this too. He hasn't looked amazing fantasy wise, but he's got the easiest chance for a quality start and a win. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Green, Giolito, Elder, and then Gilbert. It, it's crazy with Gilbert, him being 9,500. That makes sense, and that's also why he's getting 24% ownership. He's just been up and down, so that's kind of why I'm not all over him today. But yeah, that's all I got. Let's move on to stacks. This is where it gets a little more interesting, in my opinion. So right now it's got the Braves, Angels, Philly, Miami, the Mets, Texas, Toronto, and it just goes on and on and on. This is terrible. This is disrespectful. Really? Anyways, what are we thinking?
Um, I kind of like the order of the stacks, to be honest. It kind of goes in the order of how bad the picture they're facing, which sometimes it does match that way, sometimes it doesn't. It looks like it's matching that way today. First, you got the Braves against Seabold, who had a pretty good performance against Boston, but Atlanta's a different beast. I think they can get to him pretty early, take on that terrible bullpen. Mike Myers playing against Angels. I think they just released their lineup. It looked interesting. I think Moniak was leading off, so just another piece to play. Philly, sure. I never really played bats in that ballpark, but it's Oakland, so they could blow up at any point. I liked Miami a little bit. They were projecting pretty well ballpark pal for home run percentage. So guys like De La Cruz and Soler and Garrett Cooper, the power guys, and then you can just throw a res in there if you want at second base, get you like 12, like he always does. Except last night he had like 50. Um, they're pretty interesting. Uh, the Mets against Wainwright, absolutely love that. And then I think either side of this Rangers Toronto game, you could attack. Not sure if I have a preference on what side. Maybe Toronto just for pricing. Texas is pretty hard to get to. I mean, Seager is like almost 5K or something, just crazy. Uh, don't think I really want to prioritize like a main Pittsburgh stack. No, no thanks. And definitely not going back to the Cardinals. So pretty much just the top 7 or 8 in the stack tool for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. St. Louis gets a 1 slate suspension. They went up against Tyler Miguel and couldn't do anything. Cincy kind of interests me a little bit. I know how good has Belak been recently? He's been, he dropped. He hasn't been
He's
all that great.
serviceable.
I think Cincy can get to him a little bit, and that's definitely a good leverage spot there at 1%. Pittsburgh, basically Cincy and Pittsburgh, I like as like a secondary stack option. Pittsburgh's facing Wade Miley. When was the last time Wade Miley was good?
Never.
Exactly. Um, I think Pittsburgh can get to him a little bit. Toronto, Texas, Mets, Miami, Philly, Angels, and Atlanta. You can definitely prioritize as like your main stack. I kind of agree with the order as well. I think the Mets and the Marlins look the most interesting, and even like Toronto, you know, Atlanta has a 14% chance on being the top stack, and they're actually 5/10 of a point on stack score. Oh, Miami's got the second best stack score right now. So, I mean, Toronto, Texas, Mets, Marlins, Philly, Angels, Atlanta, you can prioritize whichever team you desire as your primary stack. Maybe mix in a couple secondary stack options with those. And then if you want to get a little different, go with Pittsburgh and Cincy. Other than that, it's kind of. Now I'm going to do my normal ritual of trying to convince you on the White Sox. Logan Gilbert's
No,
been ass recently, so I mean, just a thought. Benintendi hit his first home run of the season last night.
I saw it was after like 280 plate appearances or something.
He had surgery on his hand. He gets a pass. He finally did it last night.
Tim
Um,
Anderson's next.
don't even get me started. Can't field a ground ball to save his life. There's rumors of trading him. I don't know how I feel about that. Might have met the ball by me, so that'd be kind of upsetting. Um, you want to do a lineup generator or home runs first?
We do generator first.
All right, so day whatever of this MLB DFS lineup generator. So we play Fanduel. What are we thinking today?
What won last night? I didn't see. Was it a 4-3-1 again? I feel like that just keeps happening.
It doesn't happen for us though.
No, I can pull it up. So first, yeah, 4-3-1.
Yeah, let's do that. Balanced.
You can do all.
You don't
And
want
I
to
don't
lock
really,
it.
I don't have a pitcher lock right now.
Look who it is.
127.
Look who it is.
Yeah,
Definitely discard the shit out of that one. All right, now we're talking here.
that one projects for a whole 4 points more. That's pretty good.
I don't mind this actually.
I'm surprised you can pick Giolito with um, just like
Acuna.
noticeable names. Yeah, like I don't know why FanDuel is so pressed to make Austin Riley 3K on every slate. I know he's been terrible, but he's not a 3K bad. He
At
should be
this
like
point,
3-7.
recently he's been playing like a 2-5.
Yeah,
So bad he's freaking done. Here's a Gilbert lineup. Real Muto, Albies, Riley. Okay, this one I actually don't mind as much. Pretty optimal, pretty chalky, but yeah, this one I don't really mind too much. This is definitely like a cash game lineup though. But yeah, lineup generator kind of gets the juices flowing on what you potentially want to do and whatever. All right, lead us off with home run calls.
all right. So even though I said I'm not a fan of targeting bats in that ballpark, I'm gonna go Bryce Harper. I think he's long overdue. Have a big game here. Then I'm gonna go Freddie Freeman, of course, on the early slate, I think, or maybe he's in the late slate, but not on the main slate. And then Marcell Ozuna from the Braves.
So Funk told me that he's banning me from taking Shohei Ohtani just because he keeps smashing the ball. So I'm gonna go Mookie Betts, Lane Thomas, and sadly I got to go with Jared Kalenic against my team, but that's how it works. Um, All right, wrap us up. Anything we missed? Any final thoughts?
Nothing really. Just make sure to check out our lineup about 15 minutes before lock. Hopefully, I'll get it out there before that. Make sure to check out Stochastic's tools in our description if you want to check out their data, and like and subscribe if you haven't already.